Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think uh, everyone is good, and this is our last session before our midterm exams. This is week 7 session. This is I'm recording this session based on many students' request to. Okay, so we have two topics remaining. Okay, and in this session, uh, three topics, I can say two topics basically: final keyword, and there is another topic of upcasting and downcasting. So these two topics we will cover in this one, and the most important part is we are going to practice one example, which is like I'm thinking to go. To give in the midterm practical exam. This is like similar one. Okay, so better you practice on this one. Okay, so first we'll go final keyword, then upcasting, downcasting. Okay, this is important for your exams, which is included in the midterm pattern here. This is just pattern, it's not exact as is, but mostly it will be similar to the midterm exam, inshallah. All right, so if you have any questions, anything besides this after the lecture, so you can just send an email to me or any message in the blackboard. Okay, sending email is but far better, I can see quickly. Okay, so let's start the uh, first topic, that is final keyword. Okay, so what's final keyword here? We'll understand what is understanding the final keywords in Java. Since I told you again, this is not a theoretical class, but I want you to understand the topic, to understand the program. So definition, and we have one task here. There is a lab task. Okay, this is a task already given in the lab for your assignment. So I'm not going to give this. I'm not going to execute this task. I will do something else, right? I will show you something different task, which will like small one. Then you can do this task. You can easily understand. This is very simple also, right? This definition of the final keyword in Java, it's a basically you want to restrict something. You want, for example, using the concept of inheritance, polymorphisms in object oriented. You are doing some extension. You are doing implementing something. You are overriding the code, right? But in sometimes you don't want it. You don't want to do any override. You don't want to change the data, right? You want to keep as is. You want to make it as a constant throughout the program, throughout the project. So how do you do that one? By using the keyword final. This is what final here. Final is a keyword in Java used to restrict the modifications. You don't want to do any modification, any updation, but you can use the data, you can use the methods, you can use the variables members. Okay, but you cannot change it. So how do you achieve that one? How do you implement that one? By using the keyword. Okay, so basically the final keyword applies on variables. So we have final variables, final methods, and final classes, and final parameters. Parameters are also variables, right? So basically we see what are these with the help of example here. And what is the advantage is what is the purpose here is often used to define constant. So someone will ask, how do you create a constant in Java program? Just use the keyword final, right? So those are called final variable or constant variable. Now, when you apply final to the variables, are called final or constants. They are constant, now fixed. You cannot change it. That's a final variable. Now, when you apply the final on the methods, it will prevent method overriding. Method overriding. Now, you have method in the parent class, and you will override the method in the subclass, like method overriding or the concept of polymorphism. So it will prevent the polymorphism. You cannot achieve the polymorphism. You will prevent it. You will restrict the um, method overriding. Second thing, third thing, the last one is classes. When you apply or make a class as final class, it will prevent inheritance. You cannot extend, you cannot create a subclass, you cannot derive a class. So you basically are saying, this is my class, it is fixed. You cannot do any changes. You just use it, but you cannot apply any changes to the, you cannot extend. Basically you cannot make any extend, like a final version, alas, fixed. No one can have a right to modify. Okay, so hope you understand theoretically. Let's see with the help of example here. So scenario, you see the scenario here. I'm not going to the same scenario. I will just explain you the scenario here. For the task, you need to do this task. The school name, of course, school name will never change. This is assumption, like we assume that School name never change, but some cases they might change, but throughout the program, throughout the project, it will never change. No one can change it during the running, right? So that school name you keep as a final because it is same, right? School name never changes, right? Second thing, registration process cannot be altered. For example, you have a method called registration. So basically registration process is same throughout the admission, throughout the course, or the process of registration is same. There's a method. So I will make such methods as a final method. And rules, school rules. There are some set of rules, policies, procedures, Hanun, Hawaii, right? So those classes cannot be changed or extended. I don't want it extended, right? So no one can have ability or privileges to update the or extend or add some more code to the existing code, right? To existing program. So code is that's a final class, right? So yeah, these are the different scenario, say where you can apply this final keyword. This is a real-time scenarios, right, with the help of school basically. So let's see, very simple here. So after this one we have one more concept is called upcasting downcasting. So also a task which is in the blackboard. Upcasting, okay, I will explain this both in same program actually to just save the time. So upcasting is, casting, right? Conversion of one data type to another data type. That's a casting, right? So upcasting is the process of converting child class object to a parent class reference variable. So you have a child class object, convert to the parent class reference variable. So this is normal. This is directly, you can say you have a child class. Basically, you always create a child class. In inheritance, you always create a child class object. Now convert this object into the parent class. So parent class can hold the object of, this is normal. This is automatic. So it's automatically done in Java. There is no error, nothing, right? So that you can access the parent class methods. So that you can access only the parent class methods. So if you want to access the method of parent class, then you can do this upcasting. Now, if you want to downcasting, so it's reverse. You see reverse. Downcasting is the process of converting parent class reference back. Again, you have parent class back to the child class. We see help of example here. So it must be done manually. Cannot do it automatically, right? We are doing reverse, right? So it's like back. So we have parent class reference variable. You created one reference. Again, convert the child class into child class type. Okay, to child class, so that we can access the child class methods, right? So downcasting allows access to child class methods. Okay, so be careful when you're doing this one. So it will throw an exception called class cast exception. Just remember this one. During the casting process, it might throw an exception, a class cast exception, right? So there is a scenario, again school scenario. So this is a task. You just read this one. You need to complete this task. I will show you something different one, right? So that you will have two different programs, right? So let's me demonstrate the final keyword as well as the upcasting downcasting with using the same program. It's very simple one. Okay, let's create a class here. Example, I will take one single class. I don't want to create multiple classes. I want to go with same class. Right, the program is same class. Like first class is Java. I will take the main class. Example, casting or something, casting, final casting. Okay, casting demo. Right, so remove the extra code to make it more, the code is readable. Let me extend this part. Okay, this is the main class. I want to create a class, for example here class employee. Let's take employee. Okay, it's like a employee. Employee is working in a company, so I will give you a name here, string company name. So you can say company. Now company is like Jubel Jubel Powers, Jubel Energy, some energies, Jubel Energies, and you can semicolon here. But I want to make it as a final. So final string, just declared as a final. It means the company, this value is fixed. You cannot change value here, right? So you can use this one. So now I made it like this, company values. So basically this is constant. So in convention I can write as a capital letter company. It's not necessary, but it is convention. You see, whenever you see the capital, it means it is a constant variable, it is a final variable. This is a convention here, right? So this is a constant now, string constant. There you can have the similarly integer, double, all constant, like pi value. Pi is okay. So that's one thing here. Now this is a company here. I can say here employee ID. So ID is I just want to give him here employee. It's also final, no one can change this one. Okay, I can say employee ID. Sorry, here I just say here, just demonstrating here employee ID 101, right? This is my employee ID. You can make it as a final also, right? So one method, public void some method here, show employee employee details. Let me put here employee details. I want to print the employee details, right? So let's see here employee details. S out, I want to print the company name. Company, of course you need to pass the value from the keyboard or something, but this is fixed, right? And company names, and S out, I just say employee ID. Employee ID. I want name also, so it will like here, just like a normal variable name. Let me put my own name. Okay. I just put it. The next line here is out employee name. All right, so you got this value. Now we have basically one class. It has some final variables and a normal variable here, which is details, basically simple details of employee, and it is printing the value. This is a method here, right? So now so this is a method. This class is finished. Now I want to go with another class, like you can go subclass. So you create a subclass here. Now different types of employees we have: full-time employee, part-time employee. Okay, so like you say part-time, I will create part-time employee, P-A-R-T, part-time EMP. Okay, which will extends the full-time employee, not full-time, sorry, employee. So I'm creating a class. Or you can create abstract class, no problem. Okay, I just want to demonstrate this one finally. Now I'm creating a class, a full-time employee, and he has like some variables here. For example, here double some, he part-time, he will get some hours, number of hours he works here. Double public, I can say public, it is returning some value here. Double some payment, let's see payment, different payment here, right? So assume it will take the payment here, number of hours, so it is integer hours, right? So it will return, because it's a return type here, double, so it will return per hours, number of hours, it is like 150 real, right? So his payment is, because it's part-time employee, he will get it, he will say what is my payment for hours. Okay, how many hours you have, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it will multiply with each hour is 150 real. Very simple simple program, simple method. All right, so that's part here. So this is a simple thing here. Now let's understand here, right? So now in simple, what you're going to do, we always create an object here. We always create an object like here part-time. I'll just say copy paste here, copy paste part-time pt part-time employee equal to new part-time employee. We say like this. So we always create a subclass object. So this subclass object can access the part-time method and the superclass employees and the access members of the superclass, right? So how do you know that one? Just you put it here, pte dot, it will show you all this. It can access the company, employee ID, name, payment, as well as employee details. all the members can be accessed by this part, right? So this is okay. So but here what it says here, now you see here, it says here in the casting, here you see in the casting, upcasting is a process of converting child class object to a parent class reference variable. Parent class. So what is parent class here? Here I can just remove this part. Understand what is parent class here? Parent class is employee, EMP. This is a parent class reference variable, or we can say it is a instance. There are different names, right? Parent class reference variable here. Look at the definition here. Sorry, here, not this part. See this one. Child class, converting the child class object to a parent class reference. Parent class. So how do you create a child class object? So this is referring to a object of parent class. Sorry, spelling. So this is called, now there is no error, you see. Now it's like this superclass reference variable is referring to the subclass object, referring to this is called upcasting. It's done automatically. It means there is no issue, right? Upcasting. This is an example of upcasting. Now here emp dot, it can access the methods of its superclass, same class, right? But it cannot access the method of payment in some scenario, because in real time we don't know, because this class doesn't know about the existing of this class. In reality it doesn't know about the, it is hidden because someone extended. This is like a template. It is like basically mostly this is most suitable for interfaces and abstract classes. So where you cannot create object of the abstract class and interfaces, right? We'll see this example again, right? But here this is a template. Now the subclass has knowledge about the superclass, but superclass has no information, or it is completely don't know anything about its subclass, existing of subclass. But you want to access this one, you want to access this part here. So this is completely here. So what he's saying here is that, now you say here part-time object PTE. Now here from you see employee, I can say here emp dot, you can call employee details. You can print, let me print this part so that run the program. Company name Jubail Energies, employee name ID. Okay, but emp is an object of superclass. It does not have a payment, right? PAY. There's no payment method. It doesn't show any payment here. To access the method of subclass, so to access the method of subclass, it's a downcasting. We need to do the downcasting. Downcasting allows access the child specific methods. So what is child specific method here? Payment. Payment is child here. So here what you're doing here, you're making a part-time object. Copy this, Control E, part-time object equal to casting. You know casting we do here, convert the superclass reference variable. Convert the superclass reference variable, converting the superclass variable casting. This is a casting to the parent class. So this reference is basically employ a superclass. Now superclass can access the subclass. Now using this one PTE dot. Now you see payment will enable. Okay, so since it is returning some methods, so what I do here, I will just write here how many hours he works. He works 7 hours. So this will return value here. Okay, so pay you can say here daily rate, or just put it directly in the statement, right? So you can say here amount, you can say here amount equal to how much amount you will get, or payment you can say for 7 hours. So run the program, you see the output. All right, so this is the upcasting and down. This is downcasting. I just write it here for your cannot directly write it. You cannot directly write it. You see, you just say, just keep the mouse. Incompatible employee cannot be converted to part-time because employee is superclass, cannot be converted into subclass. But to convert the superclass to like super to non-super, right? So it's like degrading something, right? So in this case, forcefully converting like part-time, right? So part-time employee. Hope it is clear. So this is upcasting and downcasting. So